okay, lost high ancient technology exploding on the internet. It's all everywhere. The Ancient Aliens series on the History Channel has just popularized this. But it's not whether it's aliens or whether it's a super advanced lost high civilization. It all rests on a foundation stone. It's impossible, therefore it has to be lost high ancient technology. This is upon which all of it rests. And that again would be a good argument if it was impossible, because then how to explain it? But, well, okay, so if it is possible, if it can be reproduced with ancient primitive tools, therefore it is not impossible, therefore there's nothing to it. So we'll be looking at cutting marks in granite using primitive tools, just copper, and not only copper, we'll even see using bone to cut these very, very hard stones. It's all about abrasives. It's not about the hardness of copper at all. This is just a distraction from there and abuse of Mohs hardness scale. And again, so once these things are removed, then there's nothing. And so let's look at that now. This is one of the incomplete sarcophagi, granite from the Cairo Museum, and you can see where they've started to cut the lid off, but it's these striation marks that will be an important feature, and we'll be looking at those and some comparisons. So we're looking at those striation marks, and this often used as in regards to lost high technology, this small clip amongst so many others by Dennis Stocks doing these experiments. But again, it's an important one nonetheless, because we'll look at firstly the concept works, but also how with a few small improvements it's drastically improved in accuracy and with speed, also the markings. It's just it's a thick copper blade at this point. You don't actually need this thick blade, and again we'll show examples of that, but common sand is the abrasive. So instead of something like emery or corundum, which was known to the ancients, he's just using sand. So the abrasive would not be the best choice, but it's so abundant around, and it does show that even with copper and with common sand, it's able to cut. It's also worth noting, as he describes in the full video link in the description, they chipped in a small groove to begin the cut. So you can see that the saw is even sort of moves from side to side. So the beginning of the cut, it's not guided by a straight edge. So the cut, as we'll see, begins quite wide and then it tapers down. As the groove is made, the saw is more efficient. It's not sliding from side to side. So this is also a very important point. But slow, patient work, that's been the definition of stonemasons through the great cathedrals right up until the modern age. It's also worth noting, we'll come back to this, note the primitive wooden A-frames around there. So with the ancient lost high technology of wood and rope, these things can be improved. There were two experiments done exactly the same, one with water and one without water. This one here, which used water proved better and also showed to be faster than the first method, which was dry. So there we see the one that was done with just a dry abrasive. The striation marks are there, but they do not match those other striation marks. So this was firstly done dry, and it was just common desert sand really to use it. So although they're similar, they're clearly not the same. However, well, with the lubricated method, it gets much better, and I'll show you examples of that coming up. But for the moment, thanks to Half a Sheep channel, 1 or 2 years ago he toured Egypt and other places. So on the eastern side of the Great Pyramid, you see this platform, these paving stones of basalt, which along with porphyry, diorite, granite, very, very hard stone to work. Well, all stone is really hard to work, except for the really like chalk, etc. Pardon. But we see these striation marks there as well. Essentially, they're cutting marks, and here would be another example of this. Now as we zoom in, for instance, we'll see there again these marks, but also this particular, you can see that it's rounded, so it's like the saw blade would be finger thickness, so I'd just say about a centimetre thick. This is often it's said by the proponents of lost high technology because there are these very thin saw marks, unlike this rounded one, quite wide. These other, you can see that the saw was only a couple of millimeters thick, and that is said to be proof that it was done by machining, because copper and soft tools such as that cannot do this. But unfortunately for them, this is untrue, and we'll show physical examples of how this can be done. So it's firstly, copper absolutely can cut it. The very thin tool can absolutely cut that as well. So these is example of a rounded marks. Couldn't find the pictures, but there are also other similar cuts where it's very thin. You can see the edge is very thin. Now this is how the Egyptians sawed granite, ancient high technology. This is on the Alexander Sokolov channel, and they also have another channel called Scientists Against Myths. I'll show those. So hand tools, it's a piece of copper, and the abrasive that they're using is corundum. And it's also worth noting that they, with a piece of wood as a guide rail, the cut begins very accurately. It's not sliding around like the one we saw previously with Dennis Stocks. So just by adding very primitive technology, a piece of wood, and carpentry can vastly improve these techniques. So they're using water and they're using corundum to help with the cutting, and they're using nothing but a copper saw, and might I add, modern pure copper, which was all the surviving Egyptian, Mesopotamian, South American tools are of copper alloys, such as copper with bismuth, copper with arsenic, or antimony, which changes the tool, the hardness and the stiffness, and the ability to work hard on the tool as well. So just like steel can be tempered with arsenical copper, or which is really arsenical bronze, it too can be further work hardened. So again, makes it, it's apples and oranges in that sense. There in one, in a short time, I don't know the exact amount, but takes time. It's not and so here they're using a better abrasive. They began the operation by using a piece of wood, a straight edge, so that the cut begins accurately and keeps the same thickness. And this cut is very, very thin. This is, we'll see in a moment, one of the things which is claimed to be impossible, therefore lost high technology. But it is, well, not only achievable, theoretically we can see there are many experiments like this, and these gentlemen were not the first to do it. They based their work on previous examples. This has been around for quite some time. This is not like a new discovery, it is a older one. But we'll come to the, where are we? Yeah, we can start to see the striation mark. So here they're going to cut to give a better view, and you can see that on the inside, those particular striation marks, just like there, match those with the proportions of it, and also the thinness of that particular cut. So very thin, not impossible, not at all evidence of advanced machining tools, because it's impossible to do with these materials, and you had to have advanced lost high technology to achieve these things. So let me pause and I'll just do a comparison. So with the use of an abrasive such as corundum or emery, a simple copper saw, granite can be cut, and not only that, it will leave these striation marks as we saw with the earlier unfinished sarcophagus compared to this reproduction by the lamestream establishment, who doesn't want to look at the engineering, who doesn't want to look at the marks. Well, so they will tell you, but there are quite a few people who have been doing this for years and years and years. They've published so much on it, but there is crickets when it comes to this. They say that it doesn't exist, say it's impossible. Well, it's actually the opposite of that is true. On a relevant side note, I'll post a link to the drilling cores in granite with copper video, and the sources there in the description. But Core 7, made famous by Petrie, and again one of the foundation stones, no pun intended, in regards to lost high technology, is that these are unexplainable and unrepeatable marks. Now, it's again, there's no shortage of quotes to say, especially would be Brian Foster, that this was never able to be replicated. Well, okay, so we have Core 7 and the, again, Scientists Against Smith channel, Alexander Sokolov channel. Not a new discovery, they have been posting relatively recently, but this knowledge goes back quite a long time. So the comparison between their core, the Petrie's core, and their cores as well, and we're seeing it's identical markings in there as well. So it has been repeated, and it is not impossible, and it is done with a copper drill without the use of any sort of advanced machinery. Now that's also relevant because this paper is cited by those who promote the impossibility of this idea. Now they begin, and they'll focus on the comments of Petrie in regards to diamonds were embedded in those features, but an important, whenever talking about experiments, it's the really important part is the conclusion. And it's either those who cite this paper to promote this idea that it's impossible have either not read the paper, or they have and they would assume that other people didn't, which is a big mistake. So conclusion, they're talking about the granite and drilling. Number 1, loose dry abrasives except diamond did not produce concentric lines. As we saw earlier, the dry method as opposed to the lubricated method brings different results. So did not produce. However, number 2, fixed abrasives or those in a watery slurry or a lubricant such as olive oil did produce concentric cutting lines. So the paper cited to say it's impossible, therefore lost high ancient technology, advanced machinery, it actually says quite the opposite, and that would go back to, so just like with those straight lines, using a copper saw to cut through granite, creating very thin lines as well. And well, yeah, so interesting that everything pretty much but the conclusion is focused on. So you could have cut some of these videos down to about 30 seconds, let's say impossible, and go, well, actually it is possible. So here we see the thick copper saw used by Dennis Stocks in the often referred to experiments, and using the dry method. It was quite thick, and of course it did narrow down. This is a basalt on the east side of the Great Pyramid, and there we see the rounded but quite thick as well. So then it said, well, okay then, so yes, reluctantly that's admitted, but for instance at Abu Sir, I've seen this used, that there we see a very thin edge. So this thin cutting edge, in all sense of the words, is impossible. I think that was the exact quote, but something along those lines, that this very narrow strip is impossible with tools such as copper, therefore evidence of advanced machinery powered by something as well. So so there we see, when they say advanced machinery, it's not like a primitive machine, something along the lines of a polyspastus in terms of lifting equipment, but it's powered and it is high speed as well. So there we see, as we saw, the cutting granite with a copper blade. Well, again, they did that by using lubricant such as water. They used water, but you could use olive oil, and then you add an abrasive. They cut with a much thinner blade. They cut a thinner profile, and it narrows down to a very, very thin point. So once again, practical experiments, demonstrations have shown that each of these claims, it's impossible, therefore lost high technology. No, not at all. So there you go. I'll put the link in the description to this one. I don't have the translation in English from the Russian, so again, you can't do it with copper, soft tools, can't cut stone, etc. Here's a piece of bone. Split the bone up. It's a bone saw, and so very thin strips, string, wood, bone, copper, can absolutely cut stones, granite, any stone you name. It's just a matter of the abrasive. It's not the copper, it's not the bone, it's not the wood, it's not the steel that cuts, it's the abrasive that cuts in there as well. So again, so many actual demonstrations, and just the principles of lapidary are very, very old. And so once again, it's too thin, it cannot be done, it cannot be done with this soft tool, it cannot be done with that, it's impossible, it's impossible. Every single thing they say is wrong, and they speak, well, they don't, yeah, it's wrong.
It's time to stop! It's time to stop, okay? No more!